Small.
Ron Harris here, live at the New York Pro coverage of MuscularDevelopment.com, brought to you by High Tech Pharmaceuticals. Standing here with Brent Swanson, making his second pro appearance. Is that correct?
Second pro appearance, yes, sir.
So I was there last year when you made your pro debut, and you got fourth or fifth?
Fifth. I got fifth, but I was happy because it'd be my pro debut. Everybody ahead of me were like, veteran Olympians. So being a fan of the sport, just standing up next to those guys who've been in multiple Olympias, I was like, am I really in this call out? But then, looking back, I feel like I deserved it, and it was just awesome being that first call out. So hopefully, tomorrow I can do the same thing or maybe a little bit better. So that's a goal moving forward to tomorrow.
Yeah, conditioning is something that we don't always see in open bodybuilding. Classic guys are always shredded, 212, but open, it's a crapshoot. Some of them try to come in big and full, but that's the one thing I give you all the credit for, because whenever you compete from now on, I'm never going to wonder, is Brent Swanson going to be in shape? I don't know. I see the updates, I see the videos, the pictures, man. Veins on top of veins on top of veins. I'm just curious, how do you stay super lean in the off season, or do you prep for like 20 weeks? How do you get that condition?
My prep is 16 weeks. I always stay to where I can see my abs, like that line of my abs. I don't really go off what Chad wants me to do. I eat 6 meals a day. It's always healthy foods, especially being a diabetic. It's not like I'm eating cookies and candies and things like that. So it's just the same foods. It's just more of it during my off season. I think when you do that, then it makes dieting down a whole lot easier, So that's just, I'm not just a bodybuilder for 16 weeks. I live the lifestyle, every day of the year. And I think that makes a big difference.
Now, were you saying this is your last season, or you're thinking about making this your last season? You can't go out that quick, man. You just started competing as a pro.
No, I know. I don't know, honestly. I think every time I get to this point of being this conditioned, it's like I could probably stop at about 4 weeks out and look like most people, but it's that last push where you're just like, oh my gosh, like how do I even get out of bed? It's tough to get into this condition, and like it's suffering. It's 100% suffering, and I'm willing to do it because I know if I don't bring it, I won't have a chance to the top 5, because that's what people bank on, and that's what the judges know me for. So if I come even a little bit off, they're going to say, ooh, he's conditioned, but he wasn't as good as Indy or he was at Nationals. So I almost kind of it's a double-edged sword, because I feel like I just have that pressure to where if I don't bring it to that level, they're going to say, like, what's going on here? So
once you set that standard, because I remember Dexter Jackson, if he came off like 2%, they'd say, oh, Dexter's off, and he was still in better shape than everyone else on that stage.
Right.
Like, oh, Dexter's off.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell a little story. The first time I met you was 12 years ago in this very building we're standing in. It was 2011. It was still called the Team Universe.
Yes, sir.
You were, what were you, like 22 at the time?
Yeah, like 22, 23. That was my first national show, an NPC national show.
Yeah. So I had already been competing for like 1,000 years at that point. I was 2011. I would have been 41. Yeah, geez. So anyway. I say long story short, and I keep telling a long story. You were the first person, when you get out of the parking lot, you go in the lobby and everything. We weren't even in the building yet. You were the first competitor I saw, and I remember you were in a tank top and you had these arms like, oh, I hope he's not in my. And I think you had your hair dyed blonde then too.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, and I said, I hope he's not in my class. You were in my class.
Yeah, but you beat me.
Luckily, you were okay. But I gotta be transparent. You were a lifetime natural athlete at the time.
Correct.
I was like temporarily natural. I had been juicing for quite a while before that. Went off just for long enough to be qualified for the universe, which is like a year. And had we both been lifetime natural, your 22-year-old ass would have destroyed my 41-year-old ass. But I saw the potential in you back then. I remember, I think you were like fourth.
I was third. You were. Who won? You got second, then I got third.
Right. You were third.
David
Coleman.
David Coleman.
No relation.
Yeah, David Coleman. And actually, it's funny that he still once in a while comments on my things online. So he seems like a nice guy. And then it was you, and then me, and then I don't remember really who else.
Yeah, but then there was like.
But I do remember
heavyweight. This is heavyweights, by the way.
But Sean Clarita did that show too.
He was in it that year?
Yeah, but he was like a bantamweight back then. Wow. Yeah, so he was. I know he did that show, and I'm trying to think who. I think that's all I remember doing that.
A long story, I'm trying to remember who won. It was a Haitian guy won the light heavyweight and the overall.
Yeah.
Because I took second, and I can't. I like to be a liar and say, I almost turned pro, but you had to win the overall. You couldn't just win your class.
Yeah, you had to win the class and then the overall.
And David didn't turn pro at that show. I think he turned pro at another show. Right. Anyway, I just remember, I remember this kid. And you look like a kid. I said, he's going to be really, really good. And you were like, what'd you weigh back then?
Gosh, I want to say on stage, like 220, 220.
Okay, let me try this. See how close I get. And I have not cheated. I have not looked on his social media where he might have revealed it.
I haven't said my weight for a while.
Okay, good. I'm going to go 243.
No.
I'm losing it. I'm losing my touch.
Before I started cutting water tonight, I was like 258. So
I did you dirty.
252, 253 tomorrow. When I dry out, but I'm pretty dry now, so we'll see. I'm not. Everybody chases the scale. I think that's what makes people come into the show out of shape. You know, just don't look at the scale. Look in the mirror. If you're shredded and you look good, like the judges are never going to ask, "Oh, how much do you bench press? How much do you weigh?" No, it's how do you look on stage compared to other people. And if you keep that as your goal, I think that would help people a lot more than saying, "Oh, I'm 260 on stage." Well, you're still like 8% fat, so come down a little bit.
Yeah, you know, you inspire a lot of people, Brent, because, you know, obviously type 1 diabetic from birth.
Yeah.
So I think that's it's tougher to deal with than being type 2, isn't it?
Yeah, I've all been insulin dependent since I've been 4 years old. I've had some things, and I really haven't even told anybody this until now. But so we had talked with Giles about some of my blood sugar issues that I had, and actually a week ago, my biological dad, not my dad who raised me, my biological dad is on life support as we speak. So dealing with some family stuff with that. Haven't had the best relationship just because there was some things that weren't my fault, but I don't want to air dirty laundry, you know. But yeah, so going through a lot, but honestly with the bodybuilding has just helped me. I'm just trying to get through the show and then get through all of that after this. So that's actually, the bodybuilding's been a saving grace for something to focus on positive, because there's been a lot of stuff in my life going on right now. So I'm just happy to be in New York and happy to bring my best tomorrow and then just see where the cards lay. So
you're still a high school teacher, right?
Still a high school teacher. Yep, we're on summer break, so that's good. You know, that's a perk of being a teacher. Still do some online training, and yeah, just living the lifestyle, doing what I love to do. So
yeah. You know what? I mean, you inspire a lot of people. Not only that, because I'm not going to say you don't have bad genetics. You wouldn't look like this if you had bad genetics. You don't have the prettiest shape like some
compared
people.
To Dexter Jackson.
Who is?
We're comparing, as a pro, on a pro level, you're comparing me to the best in the world.
Phil Heath, Dexter Jackson.
1%, you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, I might not have the best shape, but I can honestly say I probably have some of the best conditioning, and that's what carries me. And I have the musculature, so that's just what I bank on, my musculature and my conditioning, and then just let the judges put me where they want to. But I think if you come to the show tomorrow, you're at least going to say, wow, like, this guy is shredded to the bone. And for me, that's the ultimate compliment, because that means that you did the work. When people come up to me and say, man, like, I haven't seen anybody as conditioned as you, that just tells me I did the work, I didn't cheat, I saw this through, and I just put my hat on that and let the judges figure the rest out. I'm just here to have a good time.
I respect that, because I know nobody looks the way you look right now without a lot of hard work, a lot of suffering, a lot of sacrifice. It is not easy to get to the level of condition you get to. And I see a lot of guys who have that genetic shape, and they never come in shape. Yeah. And I've known so many pros who never made like first call out in their whole careers. Every show I'm like, I'm hoping he's in shape this time. Nope. And they let me down every time. So when I see someone that's very consistent, I know it's only your second pro show, but
I've been doing national shows forever. You know, it took me since 2015, I won my class of the Junior USAs, but then I had done national shows every year, was always second, third, never out of the top 5, so I was always this close to turning pro. But then you had that one shape guy who comes, it only takes one guy to beat you, but I think that just gave me more time to hone my craft and get better. And I feel like now on the pro stage, I belong, you know, finally, and then I can actually, you know, be in the first call out and look like I belong. So I mean, that's, you know, I don't look down that I actually had to work a little bit harder for my pro card than some guys who are quote unquote genetically blessed.
I think you're going to surprise a lot of people tomorrow, just like you did at Indy. You know, people looking at the lineup, they probably weren't thinking, Brent Swanson.
They never do, but then they show up and then things change, you know. And I don't say that arrogantly, but I mean, I'm used to getting overlooked. I'm from a small town, small farm town. I don't do this as a living. I do this because I love to do it, and I'm not. On social media, I do more when I'm getting ready for a show, but, you know, I don't make a living off of it. So in my off season, I stay quiet and I work. You know, I'm not out there, you know. So, and I understand that, and it's fine. But, you know, good thing that the judges don't judge off social media. So
some people think they do, but they really don't, guys. It's all
look, and it's all about the lineups. You know what I mean? It's who looks good in the lineup. You know what I mean? So. hopefully, tomorrow will go my way. And regardless, I think I'm going to bring a really good, package to the stage. And that's all I can control what I can control in doing that.
And I think I've heard of your coach before. What's his name?
Chad Nichols.
Same coach as 8-time Mr. Olympia Ronnie Coleman, 2-time Mr. Olympia Big Rami. Guys came from the same hometown in where was it?
Illinois.
Decatur, Illinois.
Yep.
So, man, I know you guys are jealous. Yes, Chad Nichols is his coach, and he's not your coach. But, man, I wish you the best of luck, Brent. You're one of my favorite people in the sport.
Thank you. That means a lot.
It's been cool watching you grow from a little pup to,
I know.
grown-ass man like this.
I appreciate it. Now I got the gray out of my hair, so I got all blonde hair now. So maybe.
Okay, turn around and show us this. This is a lot of work. Look at that. Wow. Yeah.
So
I don't know what
I had to look a little bit younger, Now I'm not a young pup anymore. I'm getting older, Ron. So I gotta do what I can to look young on stage.
What are you, like 35 or something?
I'll be 37 June 9th.
God, what I wouldn't give to be 37 again, man. So good luck, man.
Thanks,
Appreciate
man.
it so
Appreciate
much.
it, brother.
Check him out tomorrow. Open Bodybuilding. Brent Swanson. Let's see how he does. Coverage of the New York Pro brought to you by High Tech Pharmaceuticals. See you tomorrow.